Previously on the other dungeon. In the High East, Ivory Zool attacked the Kitsune pretending to be his mother, before rejoining his allies and trading stories in Sin's shack. And they all rested into the next day when everyone except Ivory and Tiki-Taka left the shack to upgrade Erog's dagger and wander the open-air market and some shops before grabbing a small lunch and visiting the zoo, then went to the docks to check on the demon ship and narrowly evaded the guard searching for Ivory, so decided to hide out in a nearby inn. While in the meantime, Ivory woke up to someone knocking on Sin's shack door, with only Tiki-Taka there to defend him, and eventually opened the door to reveal a decrepit old woman, and someone reluctantly followed her underground, where he was reunited with his undead Uncle Mert, and realized the disgusting old woman was actually his undead mother, and the two asked him to help recover some magical tomes to help bring them back to life, then gave him the magical black swan tattoo on his face, before letting him leave and return above ground with Tiki-Taka and a kitsune named Bob in search of their other allies. And now, the other dungeon continues.
And then I, look back at him. And I, walk forward, 3 feet. And then I let out another little toot. This one was a little sloppier than the other. I hope he realizes I got much left. And I, look back at him again. And I would like to see if he follows.
Roll me sense motive, Ivory. It looks like at first you think, oh, this pig's about to take a shit, but then it keeps looking back at you like it's expecting something. A 17's not enough to know exactly what it wants, but it does seem like it wants you to follow it. The board does belong to the people that you're trying to reunite with.
Or it might just be trying to take a shit.
Yeah, it might be looking for a better place to poop, too. You don't know.
Step to the side so I don't catch the wind of the floor. And just follow the floor.
Plug your nose and follow.
You are coming towards me? Okay, I continue to walk forward and look back at Ivory to make
Alright, so you keep walking forward and keep looking back.
Yeah.
So you walk towards the pit, the board walks away a little bit, looks back at you. This happens every couple of feet until you guys reach the inn bar part of this market area.
Then I shit.
Right outside the bar, some angry citizen tells you have to pick that up. Is that your pet? Pick up that shit. Don't make me call the guard.
It's like, holy shit, why is that on fire? And I point behind them.
Alright, roll me a bluff check. I only rolled a 13 sense motive, so this guy's just dumb enough to turn around at least to look. So he looks, you got a 6-second window here while he looks the other way.
Still check quick, and I still check the other way.
You can stealth check, try to sneak off.
Yeah, start walking with the movement of the market.
Alright. Do you want to try and stealth with him there, Tiki-Taka?
Oh yeah, I've seen Bikefo do this move many a time. I know what this is.
The shit and run. Sometimes you gotta do a shit and run.
This is 16.
I got a 10.
I rolled a very high perception check on these stealths. I got a 22 perception, so if no one beat that for stealth, this guy's yelling out, "Those people over there left this shit here." He's calling the guard on you guys as you try to sneak into the crowd.
Pick up my shit, Ivory. I say that in Sylvan, so I'm just at Ivory, or however boars squeal. No, Tiki-Taka's low. There you go. I'm now yelling at you as we walk away.
I'm gonna pick it up.
The poop?
Yeah.
Bare hands or?
Barehanded.
Alright, use bare hands, scoop up a poop.
Straight up in the air.
Oh my god, yeah, freak this guy out.
Alright, the guy's like, alright, never mind, he's got it. He waves away the guards. He's like, alright, good citizen. Take care of that. So now you have a shit in your hand. Nice chunky boar shit with peanuts in it from the trail ration date. At this point, in your hotel room window, Arog, Ergu, Sin, and Phil Kefo Becky, if you guys will roll perception checks out your window. That's true. You have weird senses. Apparently, the point of the day, whenever Ivory and the Tiki-Taka and this new kitsune came to this part of town, you guys are still asleep. So this is the opposite of what happened to Ivory. You guys are sleeping late, and he's out looking for you guys, and he can't find you.
I got a 20, not natural.
Oh, that's high enough. Sin, you're awake. You see out the window. You see Tiki-Taka. You might not notice Ivory or this other kitsune you don't know who looks like a person because they're wearing robes and stuff. You definitely recognize Tiki-Taka. It's a boar in a human clothes. So out the window, you're awake and no one else is. You're just kind of taking in the sunshine and shit, doing your rat folk, morning yoga, whatever you do in the morning, your calisthenics. You spot the boar outside, for sure.
I'm glossing my shiny stuff.
That definitely makes polishing things. You're just rubbing things till they're shiny.
That makes sense while you're by the windows.
Taking non-shiny things, making them shiny. Holding the light, look at the shine.
I poke at Erog to wake him up. So
Alright, you try to wake Erog first. Alright, Erog, perception check to see Sin trying to shake you awake.
Sitting on top of him.
Full hop on pop move.
That's 15.
You don't know what's going on around you, but you definitely sense Sin poking you on your belly.
God, got company.
Alright, so peek out the window.
Alright, perception check to peek out the window.
19.
There's definitely that weird dressed boar with a fake nose, clothes on. It's not something you see every day. Boar in clothes. That's definitely Tiki-Taka down there. And he seems to be surrounded on either side by two people in like hooded garb, like grayish black, sort of like torn, ratty looking robes. It's like two pauper looking folk following this boar around.
I'm gonna be like, that board looks hilarious.
The other guy.
I'm just gonna focus on the board. That shit is funny. Thank you for waking me up.
Yeah, but check out the other dudes. Who are they? Really?
I'll take a closer look at
Like,
them.
good or bad?
Yeah, you can try to take a closer look. Look at the perception.
10.
So if you want to pull out your spyglass and try again with a +2, because you couldn't quite see out the window, you couldn't make out the features with a robe over his face and stuff.
That's 14.
Smell them, see if I...
Well, it's hard to smell them from your room through a window. Maybe if you opened the window, or if you went downstairs, it might help.
I'll open the window then.
All right, you crack open your window of your hotel room. Roll me a perception check to get a big whiff of the city smells, the street. Get a big whiff of the street.
27.
Oh, you got a big whiff. That's definitely Tiki-Taka. You smell like Tiki-Taka shit, which is something you smelled in your shack before. Like, you've dealt with Tiki-Taka shit around. And you can see that, like, one of the guys in a gray robe is, like, holding a shit in his hand, like, up in the air, like this. It's definitely someone It's Ivory's build. You can't see his face. It's definitely like a skinny, very pale guy holding a poop about shoulder level.
Sorry, I still smell the pics of that damn turd, right?
Hey, yo. Hey, you two with the pig.
Perception check, Ivory, and I'll roll one for the Kitsune.
I got an 11.
Alright, Ivory, you don't hear it at all. You have the cloak over your ears, you don't hear him yelling. Tiki-Taka with an 11, you hear something familiar for sure. You may not know it's Arog, but you hear like a familiar voice among the crowd. There's a lot of people around you, so there's a lot of noise. You are a druid animal companion. You got a vibe. You know that your owner is somewhere in this area.
That's why I had to take that huge dump. I would like to perk up like a pointer dog and squint my eyes upward towards the sound that I vaguely heard. Is there a roll I could do to sense the essence of Bakefo?
Yeah, you can normally survival or perception. Either one of those would help you pick up the Bakefo-ness.
Survival! 11.
Not great. You definitely sense that you're close to Bakefo, but of course Bakefo is up in that room too. Bakefo can also roll things at this point.
One more thing is Tiki-Taka, I would like to start screeching.
Alright, you screech and because you feel like your owner's nearby, you're trying to let out a wail.
And then can Bakefo perceive that screech?
Yes, of course. Good teamwork with yourself. Oh, great here. Yeah, you immediately recognize the sound of your pet boar squealing. That's a sound you've heard many a time, every morning.
I immediately shoot up from a dead sleep with my eyes wide open. Kefo does. I would like to be screaming too, just a little bit, like this. Yeah.
Do you want to rush over to the window too and join Arog and Sin at the window?
Yes, please.
And all three of you are leaning out this very tiny window now. It's really the kind of window that really can only has room for enough for one person, but all three of you are three stooge, squeezing your heads in there, trying to look.
Thankfully, I'm kind of small. And
You are very tiny, and you have that snout, that rat snout, so you can poke in real easy.
Yeah, I have the ability where I can squeeze to half my size. I would like a taxi whistle out the window, please.
Please do.
Shoo!
Alright, you do a whistle noise of some sort out the window. Let's do that. Let's make that a perform check.
5.
Horrible whistle. I think that was actually equal to your real life whistle noise, where you put your fingers in your mouth and it just made a sound. You didn't actually whistle, but you're getting used to this Phil body's very weird. It's not a dwarf body. His fingers are not fat and short enough for you to do the whistle like you used to do it back home. They're too long. He's got long human fingers. You do the best you can, and it does not come off that well. But you did make a noise.
I giggled because Tiki-Taka just looks so cute. And then I yell, "Hey!" and filled it.
Perception check, Tiki-Taka.
25.
Oh, that's good enough. You know the Bakefo signal. Your eye meets Bakefo. With that, I will also let Ivory and the Kitsune, catch your eye line go up, and with a perception check, you guys can also see the crew. So perception check, Ivory, and I'll roll one for the Kitsune. I rolled a natural one for the Kitsune, but that makes sense. Kitsune doesn't know what the fuck he's looking for. He doesn't know you guys. Ivory, so it's all up to you to see the group in the window, or else they have to come down chasing you.
We all just start yelling, "Hooty-hoo!" I'm like, "Hooty!"
20 non-natural.
20 natural is good enough to hear everyone yelling hooty-hoo at you. So yeah, you look up, your whole group is trying to shove their faces in a tiny window, yelling at you down the street. They're in an inn half a block away. 2 stories up, yelling down at you.
Beeline.
Tiki-Taka is going, yeah.
Yeah, Tiki-Taka is walking towards the end, so you guys want to follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you and your Kitsune friend follow. You guys enter this inn. You're now on the bottom floor of the inn. There's a concierge, a front desk, bellboys and shit. Pretty nice little, it's not a big inn, but it's a nice little inn. A lot of amenities for a small inn in this part of town. Seems like a place where a lot of merchants come and stay and before they go back out on their trade routes and stuff.
But Kefo's mind is thinking about scooping Ergu up already, so kind of just lift my skirt up.
But Kefo's shoving a giant worm up her skirt, filled Becky's skirt. As you guys are entering the lounge.
Oh, I set my poop on the front desk.
Welcome to the Nightshade Inn. I'm afraid we don't accept feces as payment, but if you have any gold, you're welcome to stay.
Just visiting. And I walk up the stairs.
Oh, sir, excuse me, sir. He dings his own bell. A bellhop runs over and he points up at you. And so a very small dwarf runs up the stairs towards you as you're heading up the stairs and tries to stop you. I need you to roll for initiative. I got a 15 for the dwarf.
In this amount of time, can anyone be leaving the room to go downstairs as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Alright, so the dwarf's gonna grab you with a CMB versus your CMD. I got a 20 not natural versus your CMD. This is a static number.
Yeah, 10.
He's totally used to lifting bags all day, has no problem just grabbing by the legs and just taking you down. So you come tumbling down the stairs, you fall on your side, you're not gonna take any damage, but he's tackled you on the stairs at this point. The pig is ahead of you, running ahead. Kitsune is behind you at the bottom of the stairs, sort of confused about what to do. He seems to be turning away towards the door to leave.
Fine, I'll pay up gold. Just one gold, one.
Alright, roll me a diplomacy just to get him off your back with 1 gold.
Oh.
He doesn't even go after the gold. He's gonna try and swing on you now.
Wiggity whack. Yeah.
Alright, he goes to swing a punch at you, and it looks like a punch that would have totally hit you in the face. But right at the last moment, you wickety whack on command. Whoosh! Your robe just becomes a robe on the stairs. He looks around confused. You can see, magically, from the robe. You can see all around you. He looks very confused. He picks up the robe, there's no one underneath it. He puts it back down. He's like, what the hell? The pig is now all the way up the stairs. So he sees that and he starts running after the pig. Bob is now walking towards the exit. At this point in time, if Bakefo and Tiki Taka want to have a moment, totally possible.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Slow motion, love run, tackle.
I can tell from the way Tiki Taka is running towards me that Tiki Taka recently took a dump before coming inside, and I'm just really proud of them for that.
Yeah, he's looking light, looking at least a couple pounds lighter.
I would like to yell out loud as Bakefo, "My son!" and scoop up Taka in arms.
Roll me a bluff.
You got it. 16. My son!
Alright, roll sense motive. I rolled a 10. So yeah, this guy thinks that's your kid for some reason, or at least because you're a paying guest. The dwarf running towards you starts slow walking back down the steps backwards, sorry ma'am, you're a paying customer. I didn't mean that's your son, my bad. He steps on the collapsible robe. He steps on your robe. So for a second you see the foot come down on the robe. But you can see all that, you don't feel it. He backs down the stairs. Your Kitsune friend is gone. There's just a robe on the stairs now and a pig upstairs.
I would like to be on the stairs with Tiki Taka in my arms. Can I perceive, can I look down the stairs to see what's going on down there?
Yeah, roll me perception.
14.
You could have swore there was a guy there when you opened the door, but now there's just a piece of cloth on the stairs, someone dropped a towel or something. You could have swore there was you don't know it was Ivory, but you could have swore there was a guy, there was someone there when you came out the room. You opened the door, there was someone on the stairs, and now there's not.
Can I roll perception again to specifically look at that cloth on the ground?
You may.
21.
That's not a towel. Roll me a knowledge arcana.
Oh yeah, 17.
Oh, that's some magical shit. You better grab that.
I'm grabbing the fuck out of that.
Alright, Bakefo grabs that cloth. Do you return to the room with the cloth and the pig?
Yeah.
Alright, you bring that pig and that cloth into that room. The concierge and the bellboy fucking back to the desk. You're paying customers. You paid for 3 days. I'm not fucking with you guys. You got room and board paid up.
I would like to look at that dwarf concierge and just be like, thank you, and then walk inside.
On his way back down the stairs, he picks up that 1 gold that someone threw and puts in his pocket and goes and waits by the desk for his next order.
Where's the dookie?
The concierge is trying to wipe up the dookie on the counter. He's got a very disgusted look on his face. Looks like the kind of the guy that doesn't really deal with dookie that often, so he's very upset by the proposition that he has to clean up his poop. But he does one off his workstation immediately, so he tries to scoop it into a trash can, but it leaves a smear. So then he sends the dwarf to get a cloth to clean it up, but you guys aren't privy to all this information because you guys are upstairs safe in your room. Ivory, would you like to come out of the cloak once Bakefo carries into the room? So while Bakefo's carrying the robe, all of a sudden a body appears in it. Whoa!
Well, Becky is very strong and Ivory is
Pretty waifish. Yeah, he's a little guy. He's skinny.
A little fembot. So I just hold
Keep holding them
Ivory and Tiki Taka and just look at them, like one and then the other.
All right, roll me a strength check to hold them both up.
Oh yeah, I got a 21.
Ivory and Tiki Taka off the ground by like the napes of their necks. Ivory just barely, because you're about the same height as a human.
I put him down quickly.
Yeah. He's just like an inch off the ground.
Wait, you guys are in the room now?
Yeah, you guys are all reunited in the hotel room.
Holy snap.
What up,
God.
silly horse man?
Wow. Where have you been?
Ivory's got a new tattoo on his face and a crazy new robe that makes him looks like he vanishes.
You had quite an afternoon.
Well, I've been through a doozy. Let me tell you. So much happened in so little time.
Back in the good hairs in the corner was Tiki Taka, and Tiki Taka just filled the Kefo in on the fact that Tiki Taka wasn't sure what was going on in that room, but that weird dude was definitely banging Ivory's dead mom.
Alright. Like I said, you couldn't hear and comment what they were saying, but you'll translate what you saw visually from everything that happened.
Tiki Taka dishes me the gossip, and I'm just like, oh.
Can I overhear because I can...
You speak Sylvan, yeah. If you speak Sylvan, you can overhear that. Anyone who speaks Sylvan can overhear everything that Tiki Taka says. Like I said, it's all audio, or all visual information, no audio, so we can't translate anything people said, but definitely saw everything that went on when it walked around. So anything that Tiki Taka saw, anyone that speaks Sylvan will now know.
I tell Sin and Sylvan that I'm pretty jealous of Ivory's face tattoo, and then I just kind of like look over at Ivory.
All eyes on you, Ivory.
So I recognize the tattoo. I've seen that tattoo on Steve's gym before.
Yeah, roll me a history check to be sure, but yeah, you probably should. Beat a 10.
Natural 1.
Oh.
Oh no!
Nah. Maybe you never seen it on a face before, and maybe you never seen the whole thing. Like, a lot of the people keep their tattoos hidden. Most of the people in the Black Swan don't have them displayed prominently.
Cool tattoo, man.
I got you. In my jealousy, I look at Ivory still glaring and say, nice tat in common.
It's on your face.
It's Black Swan logo, guys.
Yes!
The Black Swan.
I can hear nor see.
This is the thing.
But you can vibrate.
I just wiggle.
You have senses. You just can't hear or see. You can sense things around you. So you can like, it's not like, it's sort of like Daredevil. You can like sonar thing. You have a feeling of shapes, sounds. You just can't make out the sounds clearly, and you can't make out everything's just confusing to you because you're a chaos creature. You can't make out the sounds or shapes.
Can't make out all this juicy tea.
No, you cannot make out the T. Unless you turn into a bird or a rat, you cannot make out the T.
I pull Ergu out and I shake Ergu a little bit to be like, you should change shape.
I wiggle.
Intent.
I mean, you can understand things. You have languages. You can't speak, but you can.
That tattoo is the same tattoo that I saw on the guy that propositioned me to burn down that hut. I don't remember, but I think you mentioned it because it piqued my interest, and I didn't want to like mess with them unless they had.
And you guys have seen the markings on the rock. I mean, the rocks definitely have a similar marking to Ivory's marking, so you definitely recognize the swan symbol. Maybe not the runes around it, or the magic kind of ink that it is, but you do definitely recognize the swan shape.
We've had dealings with the Black Swan before.
Oh, I really need this book back.
Trying to go back on a deal.
That was a deal.
What?
Yeah.
I think these are the
It's
same
a
guy.
family heirloom, and I didn't know it was a family heirloom.
Oh no.
Bill, what? Why do you want it back? Oh, I know the book. I'm just outraged that this elf fool would go back on his promise to me.
You've had it for like a day and a half tops.
I haven't even got
You haven't had time to crack it open yet.
Just like elves.
Classic
I
elves.
say that.
That's definitely a stereotype that dwarves and orcs would share about elves.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. Never keep their promises.
Yep.
Classic elf.
It's part of my culture, man.
Why do you want it back, Ivory?
My uncle needs it, and my mother needs it, so they can come back to life.
I look at Ivory. I'm like, oh, your mom that's begging your uncle.
Oh man.
What's it matter to you?
Okay, cool. I turn into a rat for no reason. I just kind of like walk around. This is my.
I think in general, Ergu, like I said, you have some sort of like, it's kind of like blind sense. Like you sense the crowd is just grown. So maybe you transform because you want to see a new person and a new small person, which turns out to be a boar. But so like maybe you just transform to like, what the fuck's going on? You want an actual functioning eyeballs and ears and nose and mouth for a second so you get a full range of what's going on. So you transform into a rat, you look around, you get the full field of view. As
Yeah.
Bakefo and Ivory are arguing over this book.
I'm cool with that. I transform into a rat because I feel like there's lots going on, but I'm like standing on my back legs like a person for some reason.
Are your uncle and mom involved with the Black Swan?
Yeah, they are members.
I'm like squeak squeak.
No, I'm a...
Nice.
Everyone that speaks Sylvan understands you, so.
My ears hurt.
The book has great meaning. It has a hidden power that I don't believe any of y'all can handle.
I go.
I also go.
I'm like, wee.
Yeah, way to get a book back, nerd.
You don't know how to do it.
I enter out, I'm like, well, I have to burn a hut down. And I think it's the same people that you've been a lot of people.
I better burn that hut down.
I'm gonna look at Ivory real squinty-eyed again. I'm gonna just be like, who is this person that wants the book?
My Uncle Mert.
That means nothing to me.
I am going to crawl on top of Tiki Taki. He's gonna ride her like a horse.
And so then Tiki Taka just dishes to Ergu rat form about their day.
You know everything the boar went through in pig's wheels.
Ask Ivory if this guy is like knows how to use the book.
Of course. My uncle is a master necromancer.
Let's leverage the book for something we want.
I'm like, has he actually brought someone back to life?
They themselves have brought themselves back to life.
I'm like, okay.
Go back here.
Technically.
I'm just saying we can leverage the book for something that would benefit us. Tattoos.
There's powers to behold
We
people.
wanted those tattoos way
That's
back.
not.
Oh yeah, we're getting those tattoos.
So,
I don't think that's the lockdown.
let's get in on this Black Swan shit.
If
For a
we're gonna
book?
help the Black Swan, we're gonna join the Black Swan, and they can know that.
Let's get in there.
So might as well join them.
My clan
Like,
needs
we
more.
got something you want, and you got something we want.
Does this inn provide a continental breakfast or lunch?
They don't provide, but they can procure. If you would like a meal, they can order out for you. They're going to charge you for it, but they can have a meal delivered to you if you need it.
Room service.
Yeah.
Let's get some room service while we all catch up with each other and let each other know what's happening in our lives in the privacy of our room.
If you guys want a full meal, it's 1 gold each. Ergu doesn't really need to eat in the same way you guys do. Ergu sort of just absorbs material from the air around you and then excretes material, so you don't need to eat in the traditional sense. You don't need to consume food.
Let's get a full meal ordered for the party.
If there's any salt, I'll roll around in that, and it'll like start sizzling, but I like it.
Yeah, you enjoy it. It's fun for you. So
Think salt as well.
you guys will get 4 full meals with extra salt on the side if you want. Throw on the floor for your Ergu to roll around in.
Writhing, but it's
I'm sure Phil Keffa will know that's what Ergu enjoys. It's leaving wet stains wherever you put it. So you're like, you think he needs to roll around some salt, soak up some of that moisture. It's obviously too moist for this worm.
I just start squawking. I start like laughing really hard.
So Bakefo wants to talk to Ivory about this Uncle Mert guy and see how good of a necromancer he really is. Because
Yeah.
I might want to trade this book that technically still in my possession back for maybe like a permanent body. Would be pretty fucking dope.
Oh,
You got some wizard shit over there? Can you hook me up?
Permanent body can die though.
I mean, that's okay. I just want to stop.
I can see that.
And if I can get a permanent body that's not my original dwarf body, perhaps, then I'd feel more comfortable going into the dwarf thing and not having this like cursed rock thing going on. Because like if I go into that place, they're gonna fucking know me.
You just don't want to be a cursed rock anymore.
Yeah, I think
But-
the Kevo needs a neutral exchange of something for something, preferably magic.
I mean, let's
That could help.
Well, they're literally rotting right now and speaking.
and they seem like they really want
Let's
this
go.
book.
Yeah, I want to talk to this guy.
And your mama, he's staying.
Are we all going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all
Okay.
going.
Party's
We're
back.
getting locked with some zombies. We're all
I feel like this is a one-time offer.
Alright, so you guys are gonna march 4.5 deep out of this hotel room.
Oh yeah, you said that if we leave, we'll get caught.
Well, there are people looking for some of you. I can't say you get caught. I'm gonna have to roll percentage die and roll perceptions and stuff, but it is possible.
Before we leave, I stuff myself in Becky's bosom.
She's dried out right now, so it won't leak all over the front of your shirt. Fills out your man boobs, though. Look even more like boobs now that you have a worm stuffed in your
Hell
shirt.
yeah.
Now you're gonna turn some heads.
Is there clothes in this hotel room? Like besides ours?
No.
Anyone leave anything in a drawer?
I'll roll percentage die, but not
How long
likely.
can I be a bird for? Am I not a
Put
bird?
it in loot.
I assume I'm not.
I rolled high enough that there is a pair of socks left behind.
You'll
I'm
get
gonna add those pair of socks to my disguise.
You want to roll another disguise check to improve your disguise with those socks?
Yeah.
Can I help?
Please help. I rolled it too. Please help.
Oh too golly.
I'm helping. Oh,
You know
I rolled a nat.
Yeah.
She got it.
I rolled a nat 20.
All Alright, so you put the socks on your hands and it sort of ruins the disguise, but luckily the boobs make you look so womanly that everyone might not even notice their socks on your hands, might just think they're gloves. So even though you've ruined the disguise, the worm is currently saving it.
Turn towards Sid and be like, what do you think about these socks?
And it's like anime boobs when you turn around.
Yeah.
They're like ridiculously ample, and they move with the fluidity of a void worm for sure. Unless the void worm leaves your shirt, you feel like you could pull this off because that's going to be distracting enough.
Oh, Sin, you want to add to my disguise check?
I roll a nat 20 to look like titties. Nat 22.
I look at Sin with these like gloves, and I'm like, "What do you think of my outfit? Do you want to help my disguise?"
I go through my pack and you hear a lot of like clink, 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 clink. And it's like a lot of shiny, pull out some shinies and I'm no. And I choose one and I hand it to her. It's actually a pendant. Yes.
It's like made of a bottle cap.
I put the pendant on my bosom.
19.
That even draws even more attention to the bosom area, which, like I said, distracts from how bad the rest of the costume is.
Yeah,
Distracts from Phil Becky's facial hair, distracts from the fact that the wig's all askew, distracts from the fact that she has a penis bulge and wearing socks as gloves. The boobs and the pendant on the boobs. Everyone in the whole room, that's all you can all stare at right now. Is this marvelous void
I'm
worm
dancing
rack.
like that in front of you guys.
I'm shaking around like real titties, but anime style, so it's not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you did have dwarf boobs at some point.
It was so long ago.
You're adjusting to the silicone likeness of your new fake boobs.
Can I have a flashback with my titties to when I had titties?
History check, I guess.
13. Wasn't that good?
Nat 20 titties, bruh.
You remember having titties, but they were nothing like this. These titties dwarf yours, you know what I mean?
Oh, I would still like to maintain the form of John Everyman.
Yeah!
Face I've ever seen before.
Wow, you look so normal.
You look like every guy I've ever met. It's so forgettable.
What do you look like?
You look just like that guy, I know.
I'm just gonna keep my converse robe. Under robe.
You guys head out in this state
Oh,
with a pig.
My robe and everything.
Can I take the socks off and add them to Ivory's disguise?
Yeah, you can give him to Ivory if you think he might benefit from
I
it
just
more
want a
than you.
visual of all of us just like disguise, like, you know, helping out each other's ties. My roll was a 5, so you might not want.
Red hot chili pepper style, you know, like.
Ooh.
Alright, you put 2 socks on your dick.
Got it.
Don't elves have 2 dicks? Hold on.
This one does.
I have 2 dicks now.
What?
No, just Ivory. It's an anomaly.
Ooh.
Then you guys go out, socks on and all. Did you Google elf dicks? She Googled elf dicks.
Don't ever Google elves.
Oh man.
You head downstairs in the hotel, past the concierge.
That's it. The cat people in the next room.
Explain to the manager about the cat folk that live in the room next to us.
They kept you up all night. They're always meowing. Don't know what they were doing in there, but it sounded violent.
That cat loves Nerf.
You guys head out to the street after your complaint.
We are going to talk to your Black Swan contacts. I suggest you should maybe do most of the talking. Check.
Would I know like whether or not the black swan would be able to lick down with the worm?
I mean, you're from this area. You can maybe roll a knowledge local or something like that. You might have heard some about the Black Swan from back when you were a real being.
I got a nat 20.
Yes.
Okay, so you heard about from the Slime Boys and stuff. They had some dealings with the Black Swan. They get some stuff, some drugs and other stuff through them. They move a lot of product across a lot of borders. There are a lot of different factions among the Black Swan, and you guys only dealt with one of them. But they do seem to be pretty into the idea of magic and stuff like that, so you don't know for sure if they'd be after a void worm, but from your other experience with being a void worm in this part of the world so far, you do know that magic creatures might see you as more of an ingredient or a creature to be captured and studied or to be used or to be kept as a familiar versus being your own free-willed spirit to go about and do whatever you want.
I just don't want to be whipped out in the wrong situation. And then they are like, hey, give me that worm for my spell. That's gross.
Yeah.
Maybe your presence would impress them. I mean, let's keep it in our back pocket.
I mean,
Well, for right now, I need you to stay my titty.
But you know yourself, you probably need to stay hidden.
Like, don't be whipping me out in the wrong stitches.
Your boobies.
We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just want that to make that a thing.
It's your
think-
choice.
Okay.
I especially think
Now-
Phil Kefu, whose boobs you're playing, has been enough instances lately to know, like you accidentally had Ergu as a belt and a scarf and got busted both times. I think you probably caught on.
Yeah.
You probably caught on at this point it's best to keep Ergu hidden unless you know otherwise.
Just an average day.
And to the stone.
You guys want to go for a stroll? Let's roll, see if anything happens while you guys stroll as nonchalantly as possible. Tiki Taka with you, I assume you didn't leave Tiki Taka in the hotel?
Nope, carrying him like my son.
Tiki Taka in the arms.
Baby carrying.
Yeah.
Aw, he's so...
The Groucho Marx.
This one's yeah, he's still like that.
Alright, so you guys still experience a heavy guard presence looking for Ivory. You see that there are wanted posters up now for him. So it's serious, whatever it is, but luckily you guys are able to avoid the guards and starting the market. No facial tattoo yet. Just name and reward. The reward for Ivory Zool is 2,000 gold right now. Alive or dead.
We could turn you in and break you out.
Depends how swift justice is here, I guess.
Take that away from me.
So you guys stroll past the wanted posters,
Yeah.
stick with the crowd, avoid the guards.
Brainstorming.
Get back on the rail.
Yeah.
You're able to make it to the stone. You're able to make it to the Black Swan Stone. What do you do once you arrive at the Black Swan Stone, Ivory?
Well, there, tell everybody to. Alright, now.
Wait, hold on. Are you able to safely transport people through this? I have familiarity with this shit before.
I smashed my face.
Are you able to safely transport people through that stone with you?
I think this is about them.
Yes.
Okay.
I need you to take 13 steps back, close your eyes, and run as fast as you can through the stone, and just believe.
That's a bluff check if I ever heard one, but I love it.
Yeah.
24.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
That's pretty good. So everyone needs to roll. If you don't want to just blindly believe your good friend Ivory and the things he's telling you are true, if you don't just want to fall for this trap like some kind of dope, roll a sense motive and beat that number.
I trust him because I thought we were friends. I close my eyes and I wait for his signal.
I'm gonna go after you, dude. But honestly, watch first.
Alright, so you guys are 13 steps back with your eyes closed. Yeah, you trust him too. Ergo, it doesn't really matter because you're not listening and you're just a boobs, so you're along for the ride.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're running at the same time.
Ivory says go at some point, I'm sure. And you guys all run towards the rock, 13 steps.
You gotta believe. 100% trust in my friend here.
I'm jogging. I got a 14. That's like halfway right.
But it's enough that you all believe Ivory and therefore do believe this is going to work. So you all do truly believe and you run towards the rock with hope in your heart and with belief in your eyes and in trust in your friends. This is the truest trust fall of all. And you're all going to run smack into the rock. Roll a d6, that's how much damage you're going to take from running into a rock.
I'm like Baywatch bouncing.
What in the snap snap?
You don't take any damage, Ergu, because you're so squishy.
Just one damage. One.
I'm like Baywatch bouncing.
I take 6 damage.
That's like awkward as hell.
They're bleeding
That
on the floor
pendant
now.
just stabbed me.
Both got 6
Yeah, unluckily for you, when you ran to the rock, your Ergu boobs is squished because they're like so used to just getting out of the way of danger. Became flat, sports bra-like, and you absorbed all that blow on your own chest, smack. And then Ergu reformed his boobs right after you hit the rock.
Still looking great.
So
Yeah.
on my eyes, I open my eyes, and of course you're gone, right?
Oh no, I'm laughing.
Tell you to
I literally watched all these fools run into a rock.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
We're gonna do this for real now?
How are we ever gonna trust you?
Alright, everybody.
I'm just trying to catch my breath.
I helped Becky up.
Everyone roll a perception check.
20 not natural.
23.
Oh, I got a 9.
24.
No, we're in an alley, man.
I got 14.
Everyone except Ivory and Arog notice that some guards are approaching this area since you guys are hanging in this alley for so long.
I turn towards Ivory and just out of, like, still not breathing correctly. I'm just like, get us out of here.
I tell everybody to interlink arms.
I grab.
And I place one hand on the stone and I pull them all.
I trust him again for some reason.
Who's touching Ivory? Who's in the front of the line, I guess?
Me.
I was helping Becky up.
Alright, so Bakefo grabs your arm. Everyone grabs Bakefo's arm. You close your eyes and lean through the rock. Ivory, also holding your arm and closing, fill Becky's eyes.
Closed.
Eyes closed.
Alright, the two of you fall through the rock. The rest of the chain does not successfully fall through the rock. Boobs, you come with. Ergu, you're part of that. You're touching. Arog and Sin alone in an alley now as guards approach.
Now I'm gonna be like, the son of a bitch did it. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I bet him 20 gold that he couldn't do that.
What's going on here?
I'm flabbergasted. That guy
What's that guy?
just bet me $20, 20 gold that he could fall into a rock.
He was a witch.
And I swear, I didn't believe it.
So someone has won that rock?
You saw it, didn't you?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Why don't you move along?
I think we will.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have to pay him. Get out of here.
Alright, you guys leave the alley as the guards sort of linger in the alley And then 2 of them also lean into the rock. Meanwhile, down in the cave, with no lights, unless you have dark vision, you cannot see.
I have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Okay, you're good. Ivory can see like just right in front of him, and that's it. But you see the caverns around you. So, Bakefo, you kind of have the lead here. And these are old dwarven caverns. You recognize these. This is where a lot of the dwarves and other species that the dwarves took in as refuge were hiding out during the Great Titan Wars. It was safer underground than above ground.
I'm all flashbacks. Cool. I immediately looked at Ivory, though, and I grasped his face as I can see it. And I'm just like, what happened to our friends?
Well, I thought they would come with us.
Shit. What do we do now? I also let Ivory know that I can see. I got you. Take my hand. But what do you want to do about our friend's room?
We're just gonna move forward.
Okay.
You're a dwarf, you're pretty good underground. You can pretty much discern it's either north or south right now.
I just wish I had a walkie-talkie or a cell phone to contact my friends and find out if they want to be left behind or not. As a neutral character, I'm just gonna follow this fucking elf. Where to, Ivory? Left or right?
I have no clue, actually.
You can roll Dungeoneering, or possibly Knowledge History to remember.
Got 16 Dungeoneering.
Alright, so it was dark last time you were here, and you couldn't see anything that time either, but you're pretty sure you headed left, which in this case would be south.
Guide us south.
But before we go, I do just want to protest that I don't know how I feel about leaving people behind.
So you guys get about 200 feet before you need to roll perception checks. That's a
I
way
got a natural one.
27.
9.
Phil, Kefo, Becky, and Ivory keep moving south. Don't notice, but you with your blind sense, since your eyes, because you're all facing one direction and only one of you can see, but your blind sense, like I said, is more like a radar akin to the Daredevil's sense. You sense 2 figures approaching you guys from behind. If you can try to warn your allies in some way as boobs.
I start buzzing like an alarm, kind of like when your table's ready at the restaurant.
You're gonna gurgle, 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 gurgle.
Yeah.
I would like to look around me.
Yeah, perception check to hear that gurgle and be startled by it. So another perception check,
Natural
Ivory.
20, 29.
Alright, so at that point, Bakefo is going to be startled by that and turn around and see that, yeah, there's 2 guards from above ground following you down here. Somehow they got down here as well, and they're coming your direction.
Oh my god.
And they're running, so they're approaching quickly.
Oh my god.
Rude.
I crouch down in the corner and I cover my eyes. I just start shaking my head, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do.
Still a nat 20 Titty.
That's your last chance to do anything before we roll for initiative.
I'm gonna see what happens, unless someone whips me out on purpose.
I'm gonna summon a snake.
Ooh.
That means you'll already have your snake dead for 1 round, which means after battle starts, there won't be any summoning signature. Snake will just be able to attack immediately because it's already there. So good move on your part. And now it's time to roll for initiative.
18.
I got 11.
11.
I got a natural 1, so you know. That's gonna...
I got a 13.
I'm just gonna yell out, what do you want?
Alright, diplomacy?
Oh god, okay, yeah, everyone 5, diplomacy, what do you want?
Yeah.
Screaming from a corner.
That's going to be taken just about as it should. They're going to approach really rapidly and say, "Where's your tattoo? Where's your tattoo?" And have their weapons like ready to be drawn.
I just point at Ivory and I'm like, I'm with him!
Fucking face.
I just
Yeah.
feel like, are you fucking blind?
They look over and see you. They yell, "Oh, are you new?"
I'm a little new, but my roots are deep.
I just go, ah, in the corner.
Face is an interesting choice.
I'm all about it.
So, are you with the O-Dubs?
I do this.
Yes, you want to roll a knowledge local or anything like that? Know what an O-Dub is?
I got an 18 at local.
Could be something you may have been able to write down.
That's 17.
I think you'll know different things, but you both know about the same amount of information. Bakefo, you will know that during your time down here with the dwarves, the Kitsune were one of the first races to take up dens down here and actually built some of their own dens apart from your dwarven enclaves. And they had the Black Swan cult even back then. You don't know a lot about the O-Dubs, but the O-Dubs were one of the first, like, split-off groups from the Black Swan, a faction of the Black Swan whenever you first left the caverns. And Ivory, you know about the same thing. You know that O-Dubs must be a faction of the Black Swan, because you did hear from your Uncle Mert that the Black Swan had many factions. The O-Dub must be one of them. You don't know what faction your Uncle Mert belongs to, you don't know about all the factions, you just know this is one of them. So are you O-Dub?
Not today.
That's the true way.
I'll give it some thought. But for now, I just need some directions.
Sure, who's your friend? New recruit?
Yeah, new initiation.
Show us your true faces. And they shift for their faces from human into fox form.
Oh. Can I go, Kitsune, like under my, like quietly in the corner?
Yeah.
You a fox?
No.
No. Last time I checked, no. This is my true form.
Blasphemer. And they pull their weapons. Initiative is back in play as they go to attack you guys.
Or what? They're racist?
Yes. That's the O-dub.
What? That's rude.
It's the Kitsune Brotherhood.
I thought they knew.
Kitsune. What?
What did they just go around every trial?
The O-dub believe that Black Swan should be Kitsune only. That's one of their main tenets. That's gonna be 1 hit on Ivory. Pretty low, it's a 19 versus your AC. 5 blade damage as he swipes at you.
And I'm out.
What?
3 hit points? 5.
Why do you have
Just enough to knock you unconscious. Phil, Kefo, Becky, and Pig. It's your turn now. And Ergu. All 3 of you now have to rescue your
My
ally.
whole little family.
They took 1 slash at him and he like rolled and hit the ground.
Just immediately just fucking stabbed him.
Yeah.
The thing is, my health is so low.
Make him reroll his attack -8.
You don't have to go down, my friend.
Now I'm gonna use an anti-hero point.
Alright, anti-hero point. So I'm gonna roll again, -8 on my attack on you. Which is only gonna be an 11 versus your AC.
My AC is 11.
Oh, so you get a reflex save for half. This time I rolled 5 damage, so it's 5 if you fail your reflex save, but if you succeed, you can take half of that, which we'll say is 2.
Oh, you're so nice.
I could have made it 3. I could have rounded up. I know every hit point counts, so
17.
you can take half. So just 2 damage you take from that sword. You're not unconscious, just stabbed a little.
Were you gonna whip me out?
Moving city.
Girl, I'm trying to run away. Like,
Oh, shit.
She does not want to fight.
fuck this. I don't understand how we got in this situation. We prepared so well. We did so many disguises. Like, we were so
I
ready.
mean, I'm fine just being Titty still.
What happened to you?
We can disengage.
Wanna whip a titty out?
Yeah,
We don't have to whip it.
my boy stabbed, like, Ivory's fucking going everywhere, my titties are sweating, I got it.
So as your move action, you want to pull a titty out?
No,
Whip a titty out.
we're not whipping a Titty out, actually.
We're feeling it.
We're running away Baywatch style. How are you gonna join a club and then get stabbed the next day?
By the same club.
That's rude.
Okay, first I'm gonna look at Ivory and I'm just gonna be like, do you really want to do this?
Boxes were rude though.
What are we doing now?
Stab those guys.
Dude, those guys are racist jerks.
I guess I'll cause fear.
Ooh.
You guys
I got a 22 sense motive on Ivory and I would like to know what the fuck he's doing right now.
He's wiggling his fingers and casting a spell. He's saying magic words. He's engaged in battle. He's summoned a snake. He's casting a spell. He's good to
fuck.
go.
Okay.
Oh, game changer. Game changer.
So Ivory casts fear. That means I get a will save.
My animal attacks
Yeah.
the same move.
Your animal can attack this turn too. I got a natural 20 for one will save and a 7 for the other. So one of these guards is going to flee back the way you came from, you guys, at least temporarily. The other one does not, though, still attacking.
Hell yeah, you guys. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking soften the earth / stone in this fucking underground bullshit
Nice.
on that this motherfucker is standing on and let this motherfucker get quicksanded real quick.
Nice.
Ain't no one got time for that. A creature in mud must succeed a reflex save or be caught for 1 D2 rounds and unable to move, attack, or spell cast.
Alright, so I'll make a reflex save on that guy real quick. Oh, I failed. 2 rounds, this guy can't move, attack, or cast spells.
Whew, thank goodness.
Stuck on some loose dirt.
I want to ask him why he is attacking us with his hostility and his language and his rudeness.
Black Swan
Kitsune.
Caverns are for Kitsune only. Maybe the dwarves, but no one else belongs down here. Everyone else abandoned the caves, so they should stay above ground where they belong.
This child could be, I'm like way older than this fuck, like trying to tell me about these motherfucking caves. I'm gonna fucking, can I stuff the void worm just like in its face so the void worm just like knows to kill it?
You can whip the
You wanna
void
kill
worm out
something?
anytime you want. That's your call.
I mean, is that what you're doing?
I don't know.
I mean, they don't know you're a dwarf, you don't look like one. So right now you guys look like a human
Yeah.
and a
Man, let's
half-elf
give him a regular
walking
slap.
around their caves.
He's sinking in quicksand. I don't need to go straight to the void worm. I'm just gonna slap him. He's gonna get slapped for making that smart ass comment with the voice.
I mean, you could have. I got a good slap move. Still do that. Slam attack.
Meanwhile, back above ground, Ivory and Sin, you guys have just left the alley and you realize the guards have been lingering there for a while. You want to turn back around and perception check. You're more than
Yeah, I
welcome
would like
to.
to see what's going on behind us.
Yeah, you could give a quick glance over the shoulder with a perception check.
15.
18.
Yeah, you'll see some, but Sin will see much, much more. There's only 2 guards there now, not 4. So some of the guards have vanished in that alleyway too. And the other 2 guards are just standing there like around the rock waiting.
I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck is going on, Sen? That fucking elf tricking us twice? That dirty bastard. Oh man, I'm out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of
There's a guard presence over there. That elf tricked us one time, made me smack my face on a rock. Look at you.
You're perfect everyman face.
My day was locked up in that whole Black Swan meeting, and now it's...
Let's go back to the hotel room and like lay in bed and hope your allies come back.
Oh, friend of mine. We're gonna go lay low.
Alright, you hide back out the hotel. Hope your allies know where to meet you at. That's your home base right now, so you can assume that's where they know to meet you again later. Meanwhile, back down in the caverns, battle is stalled, but now the guy that was afraid comes to his senses and turns back around. He pulls a crossbow. Titty's whipped out. The snake's about to attack.
Can I not be whipped out, but just like do a slap attack from the titties?
If you want to slap the guy that's in the mud, yes, but not the guy that's about to pull his crossbow.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap the guy in the mud. I'm not gonna sit up yet.
Yeah, you want to give him a good titty slap?
Like a long appendix comes out and slaps you from the titties.
So from inside the shirt.
18.
18's a hit.
Oh.
So roll some damage.
Oh, you have to do a DC will save, or you're gonna be confused.
Alright.
DC 12.
I rolled too low, so he will be confused.
1.
Alright, so 1 damage.
That guy's still stuck in the sand.
So he's going to take a minus to his AC because he's stuck in the sand. So you want to bite that guy in the sand?
Yeah.
Alright, you send your servant after the guy stuck in the mud. Roll a d20 plus 5.
12.
12 is a miss, unfortunately. The guy gets a chance to fire his crossbow at you, Ivory. That's going to be a 20 not natural versus your AC, Ivory.
11. There's
It's going to be 7 damage, so substantial crossbow. Must have hit a vital organ or a vein. But you know the Black Swans are known to be dangerous assassins, so...
I never fox people. I'm like, come on.
So that might knock Ivory out there, and then it's back to you guys, everyone else on the team except Ivory, who's probably now unconscious.
I'm gonna pick up Ivory.
Strength check.
It's a 6.
I believe Ivory weighs more than 60 pounds. He's a small guy, but more than 60 pounds, I believe.
Okay.
So you're gonna be struggling picking him up right now.
Like, he didn't even get up off the ground. I just
So if you want to do a spell or an attack after that, I'll allow it.
Thank you so much.
But then you
I
can't
would like
move.
to cast some obscuring mist, please.
Alright, obscuring mist appears around you, fogging the view of your enemies and yourself, so it's just harder to see now for everyone except, of course, Ergu, who has the same general sense of what's going on around.
Woohoo!
Otherwise, there's a thick fog now in this cavern. So that will probably, at least for the crossbow bolt's sake, will cause misses. So until this guy gets in close range, he's not as likely to hit you.
50%.
Yeah, so
Good idea.
anytime you're in range battle, a cloud of fog never hurts.
I guess he just fine, so I'm gonna rage. Boobs get enormous, but no one can see how like great they are.
Yeah, they're enormous and they're like moving independently, like pec flexing. They're just like going up and down on their own.
Then I'm just gonna like ooze burst out of the chest. I'm not gonna rip the blouse.
You're gonna come at the top.
Yeah, it's spandex. It's ready for you.
So I just like ooze out of it, and then I like take off, and I'm gonna slap the guy in the dirt again. I'm raging. 8.
8 is a miss, unfortunately.
Oh, I got too excited.
Yeah, you're raging too much. That rage will do that to you sometimes.
I do a ghost sound to scare them.
Okay.
And it sounds
Describe
like
the sound.
From the Pokemon games. It's like,
Spooky laughter and creepy sounds erupt through the cave from some unknown origin. Serpent's still there. He's there to defend you, even though you've fallen.
You to attack the second guy.
The guy in the dirt? Alright, roll again, plus 5.
Natural 20.
Oh, that's a hit. You get to do 2d2 minus 2 damage and then poison.
So if you just roll 1d4 and minus 2?
Let's just, here, how about this? Because the nat 20, we'll say you max out and do 2 damage. That's the most this thing can do. So you do 2 damage on this guy, and I'll make him do the poison roll save to see if he succeeds on that poison roll. I have to pass a DC 9 fortitude save, which I do pass, so I'm not poisoned.
very roundabout way to get to 2.
The guy that shot the crossbow bolt from far away, now that's gotten foggy, you hear his footsteps taking off the other direction.
Oh, thank God.
He's heading north, and all you have is the guy stuck in the mud now. Ivory is unconscious, he's still got a serpent.
I'm gonna try to pick up Ivory.
Alright, strength check to try to lift Ivory again. What's your weight, Ivory Zul?
110.
110, so all you gotta do is beat an 11.
13.
That's enough.
You're so strong.
You lift up the wayfish Ivory Zul, now you're carrying a pig and Ivory Zul.
I'm carrying the whole family, and I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm flying
Going
around.
towards the exit.
Yeah, Ergu is loose. What do you mean by exit?
The rock that I have to use Ivory to get out of.
Well, he's unconscious, so even if you try to get up against the rock and you touch it, nothing happens.
Fuck!
Now you only have one round until this guy's able to get out of the mud.
Okay, I guess let's go north then. Let's just run the other way.
So you want to go the direction that the guy that
Or
ran
should
away?
I talk to this fucking fox guy? I don't know what to do. I look at the void worm and I just like start eating towards it, which it tries to tell it. I'm trying to tell it that it should transform into something I can speak Sylvan with.
You transform into a rat or a bird. I'll let you sense motive on that if you want.
Well, first I slapped the guy in the dirt, and I got
Yes.
a 15.
Yeah.
That's a miss.
So I miss again, and I'm just like, wait, can I turn into a rat? That's all I got left.
And you fall down to the ground as a rat, just a couple feet, doesn't hurt you. Flop, you're around the ground
I
now.
look over, and I'm like, got my like rat hands on my hips, and I'm like, wait! What the fuck you want?
Me?
Yeah!
I want to know. I need someone else that's a team member that's awake to talk to so I can know what to do. And I'm just carrying two
I got like daredevil senses. I can't hear what's going on. I'm just like, all I know is I need to kill this guy in the dirt, and I keep slapping him, but I keep missing.
He moves, he like dodges, he moves his face just enough out of the way.
I'm a rat now.
I'm like, all right, I'll help you kill this guy. Will you smell this book? And I kind of pull out the necromancy book and like follow the smell to this uncle guy. Is that a good idea?
What? Okay.
Because I don't know where he is. Like, I don't know where to find this guy. So,
Yeah, you're handing a rat a book, and the guy in the mud's looking over at you and like, what is that?
let's
Can
get
I like
let's
open
get
the
him.
book with my rat hands?
No. I know. No, I haven't.
No, I just want to see it.
No, I just want you to smell it.
Sweet. I gotta bring it close to me to smell it. Open it so I can get a good whiff. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And the guy just stands like looking
I
at
opened
me.
it.
Like, squeak, 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 squeak. And she's like, no.
I open it.
Bring it down close to me, right? I get in up on the book and I'm like smelling it, but I'm also squeaking out like the words in the book.
That's a spellcraft check if I ever heard one.
I don't know what that is.
Let's see what this book do.
I'm a rat. I got a 2. Plus, I don't know.
But you were a barbarian before.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, so you're unable to cast a spell. You do squeak, but apparently you're not squeaking right or wiggling your rat nose right. 'Cause it's not.
I latch onto the book with my rat claws. Oh, and I also slap the guy in the dirt with my tail.
Yeah.
Alright, roll that slap attack.
I want to slap him too.
I'm right there.
You can both roll attacks on this guy. It's your last turn to roll an attack before he's gonna climb out of the mud, so.
I got 4. I'm not good at slapping.
16.
Alright, you both miss as this guy pulls himself out of the mud.
Oh! Anyway, I latch onto the book with my rat claws, and I just like wrap my tail around it.
He uses his movement to pull himself out of the mud, and he's gonna use his attack to attack Phil Kefo.
Oh my god.
I got a 22 versus your AC.
What? An 11.
He does 3 damage with his curved sword.
Fucking 11. I let Tiki Taka down, and I go, out loud, and I also, like, as I'm going, like, Ivory, like, flops off of my shoulder, right? So I just, like, do that thing where you
drop both your
drop
babies.
everything. And drop everything. So Tiki Taka knows that sound means that he's about to go and, like, battle some shit. I've suppressed all my emotions at this point.
Careful. I'm a chaos.
I'm gonna make some fucking good berries, though, and I'm gonna shove them down Ivory Zool's throat.
You know you can cast at a higher level, I believe, to increase the number of berries. Look on the sheet, but I believe you can multiply the number of berries by what level you cast it at.
I'm gonna cast that as my level 3 spell.
Alright, you get 6, that'll give you 6d4.
Cool, I have 18.
18 good berries, and you shove all 18 down Ivory's mouth?
No. How negative are you?
-5.
I shoved 10 down his throat. I have 1 in my mouth, I would just like to say. I'm not eating it, it's
He's
just
got
like
it ready?
under my tongue. Like saving a Skittle.
Ready action, 1 HP good berry. Alright, you got 1 in the cheek. Anybody else on your team want to go?
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Spellcraft.
10.
A little better, but still not enough to cast the spell on this page. However, you're awake and your serpent's still there. And your mouth's all like smushed with the berry juice. You got a berry stain around your lips. That fresh purple juice of the good berry.
I think I'm feeling pretty refreshed. Juice.
I'm gonna cast Acid Splash.
Ooh, nice.
You shoot a missile of acid at this guy. So roll BAB plus your dex mod.
Yeah, it was a terrible roll in like such a clutch situation.
Using my hero point.
Alright, hero point.
Get it!
Woo!
22.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a hit. Acid splash, right in the face with a 22, we'll say. Splooshum. That does 1d3 points of acid damage, which then vanishes after 1 round, but does do acid damage to this guy's face. You're gonna melt some fur off this guy's face.
It's 3.
3 acid damage. He screams in pain as the acid splashes his eyes and fur. Definitely burned some fur off his face. He's got bald patches on his face now where the acid splash hit him.
You'll never see your children again.
My Viper also attacks too, right? Attack! Yeah, it's only an 8.
Your Viper misses.
Squeaky, squeak, squeak.
Spellcraft.
18. Squeaky, squeak! Squeak!
That is high enough. A phantasmal creature of most fearsome origin imaginable. A horror erupts from the pages of the book. The Kitsune has enough will to disbelieve in this phantasmal killer, but now I need everyone else around to make the same will save. It is a mind effect, so if you're immune to mind effects, it also won't affect you.
I got a 14.
14's enough.
Yeah, 18.
You're good.
It's just will plus. I got a nat 20.
And you're all good.
Squeak! I don't know about that. Squeak! Pretty awesome.
So the phantasmal creature appears, very frightening, but doesn't frighten anyone to death, and then vanishes into thin air.
Dope.
Squeaky, squeak! I wink.
Let me hit this guy.
Go for it.
Looks cool. Her doesn't read much, but she might start.
I'm getting into it now.
Can I look on the ground for a stick?
Perception check, yeah.
14.
No sticks, just lots of rocks.
I pick up a rock.
You grab a rock. One about the size of a human head. You can probably lift pretty easily.
I'm just gonna hit this guy with a rock. 23.
23 is a hit.
I smacked the shit out of him with that rock.
Alright, roll me a d6 plus your strength mod for damage.
4.
4 damage. He's gonna try and stab you, Bakepo, since you just hit him with a rock. A 21 versus your AC.
My season 11.
Give me 3 damage with the sword.
Can I snatch that blade?
You can try disarm. That would cause him to drop the blade, and you can use your move to pick it up.
I would like to disarm him.
That's a CMB.
21.
That's actually enough to disarm this guy. You knock the blade out of his hand onto the ground. Clang, clang, clang.
Yeah! I picked that shit up.
Alright, you grab it. He's gonna get an attack of opportunity when you go for his weapon, but it's only bare fist, so he's gonna try and, disarm you when you pick up his weapon. See if you can return the favor. He fails, though. I rolled a 2. So he's gonna try to disarm you and fail on his attack of opportunity.
Tiki Taka just look at me. Tiki Taka bores him fucking with his fucking tusk.
Alright, roll that attack for Tiki Taka.
15.
15 is just barely a miss.
I add my Viper to attack, and I fire a crossbow. Viper first.
Alright, plus 5 on your d20 roll.
11.
11's a miss. And then roll your crossbow bolt.
There's a 15.
Also, just barely a miss. As the crossbow bolt just whizzes right past his face and hits the cave wall. Ricochets off in the dark somewhere.
Alright, well, I use my movement to turn a page and I read just like a random page. Like a crazy choose your own story adventure. And I start squeaking out more spells. And I got 14. Squeaky squeak! Squeak!
After you read that spell, your rat paw starts to glow blue and cold, dispersing a cold blue energy, disrupting life force. You gotta touch a guy to use it.
I'm still right next to that guy in the quicksand, or
Well, he's out of the quicksand now, but you're pretty close. You'd have to get off the book to touch him, though.
Can I just go for his foot?
Yeah, you can go for his foot. It's up to get off the book.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna fucking just jump out his face.
Alright, you jump at him. I'll let you just succeed on that. So you do touch him. He's gonna take 1d6 points of damage. His face, which now has been acid burned,
4 face damage.
now shrivels up some with age, as if you suck the life out of his face. It gives him 1 point of strength damage. He becomes weaker, unless he makes a fortitude saving throw, which he's going to do right now. She fails, so he does become slightly weaker.
I'm just messing with this guy's fucking face, creating a facial disturbance.
You just gave him pruny face. He's going to try to grab the rat off his face with a CMB. I got a 24 versus your CMD, though.
No, it's 20.
He now has you in his hand and is pulling you off his face. He's got you in his grasp now, in rat form, holding you up in the air, cursing.
He's got me, Becky. I say in rat. Squeak!
Alright, hold on. Let me find some fire shit. I'm gonna use my flame blade.
A 3-foot-long blazing beam of red fire erupts from Phil Kefo's hand. It's not an actual physical blade, but just like an arcing beam of fire just comes from nowhere.
I got 16.
Versus touch, that is enough, actually.
Yeah!
So I got 5 damage altogether.
Alright, 5 damage.
I want to order my serpent to wrap around his neck and constrict.
You'll have trouble conversing very well with your serpent, other than just the attack my enemies, which he naturally will do because you've summoned him. Might get lost in translation, but you can try a linguistics.
I'll try to Harry Potter this shit.
Right?
Yeah.
9, yeah, so you make some hissing noises, but nothing the snake understands. He's still going to try to attack, though, so we're going to roll that attack plus 5.
20 non-natural.
It's a hit that time. I rolled low enough that the poison will actually affect him this time, though. Just barely.
Is it 2?
Alright, so he takes 2 con damage. And he's pretty bloody at this point.
And his face is fucked up.
Finish him.
Tune in next time for more The Other Dungeon.
This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.